Hello friends, today we will be testing ETL on Google Cloud. For this purpose, we are doing part two of basic walkthrough ETL. So let us get started. We will be creating ETL workflow, and then we will be testing the data going out, and any transformation that may be required in between. We will be doing that thing also. This is on Google Cloud. So let us get started. Here I have my Jump server here where I can open my Google Cloud environment. In my Google Cloud environment, I have one SQL 0404 whatever. This is my Google Cloud account, pay as you go kind of account, and then like let us first of all let us try to create a SQL server first, because then it will take the longest time, right? So create instance SQL server. I will be creating the SQL server, MS SQL server instance. So then this SQL server will be used as a target, or you can call it sink, right? So SQL server will be having one table where we will be putting data from one of text file. So I would say, let us say we are testing ETL, so I will call ETL DB1. Okay, just a name of database. So then I am giving one password that I will be using at the time of connecting to this one. So I will be using some kind of express version, any express version. That should not matter much, because we are testing only one table here, and the development environment. So configuration details and single zone is good, and then show configuration options, right? Then show options. I will go for one thing that I will be interested more in, like we have the public IP enabled. That is the one thing that we'll be using. So then other thing that mostly what I do is this data protection. When I am doing some testing, I just disable it, so that like it gives me easy hand when I will be deleting the instance. So this instance is being created. So this will be ETL DB1. So let us let it run it, and then meanwhile we will create the storage, and then we have after the storage we will be having what we call we will be creating a data fusion instance. So first of all, let us create this one in the bucket. We will create a new bucket, right? Create one bucket. So I would say ETL store, whatever the name you want to give it. I will say ETL storage 1, bucket 1, I would say bucket, ETL bucket bucket 1. Okay, so continue. Then that bucket name is taken already, somebody taken this one, so you can use any, instead of 1 you can use any number, 4 4 whatever you can call it, 1 2 3 4, right? Whatever you can call it. I mean, that doesn't matter at this point. This is the reason is lowest latency single reason, right? We don't need anything, you know, what we call it, nothing much fancy, right? So create this one and enforce public access prevention on this bucket. No, we are not enforcing. We are having public access or whatever. For us, this is just a practical experimentation, right? So why would we need to do that? If we create it, like, then maybe we have to allow the access. So I have this one created already. Not yet. It is being created, right? So okay, so meanwhile let us go for our another instance that we want to create in analytics. In analytics group, you will have data fusion, right? Where is data fusion? Usually it's tricky. I will catch it on returning back. Where is data fusion? Okay, data fusion. See, instances, there is no instance available. We can create one. So let us create an instance. Let name is ETL DF1. Let us say if it works, right? Oh, what is happening? Why is it going there? Okay, west US east one. That should not matter. Actually, the basic one is good. And you know what? Like, let us create it. Okay, it will take some time creating instance. Same with the SQL Server also will take some time. I think if we go to what we call cloud storage, might have been created already, right? Let us see if this is created already. Yes, bucket is created already, but we will upload some data file to this one, because that data file is CSV file that we'll be using for you know, testing, you know, what we call data, some data, upload data into, this is in my documents folder, cars, CSV, cars, right? So we will upload this file, and this file we will be using the CSV data. If you see in this one, you want to see edit data or whatever, access should be fine, all standard access should be fine. So this is good. So we are good with this one. But when we will be getting our data fusion instance ready, we will start building the ETL workflow. ETL workflow will be built after the data. Well, I see that there should be car CSV already, but I was willing to see SQL Server first. No, actually SQL Server can be the last one. But here we have SQL Server already created. Cloud Edition is enterprise, and this is good. And what we want to see here is make sure that what about the access ETL DB1, right? So this is the database. This is SQL Server database, right? Connections, on the connection side, we will see. We will check if security wise disabled not required expires, right? Then security over here, how can we enable networking, public IP allowed, and then authorized networks, we can add a network, because when we will be using this one as a name, can say, you know, test ETL workflow. I would say network is everything. I will enable everything, right? 00 and /0, right? This will give us everything, right? Done. So I am allowing connection from everywhere, you know. So yes, save it. So let us go to Data Fusion, right? So Data Fusion Studio will we will be using Data Fusion Studio for getting the workflow ready. So analytics, we have Data Fusion here. I never catch it in first. See, this time I'm getting it quickly, right? So okay, so this is the still creating in creating mode. So it is taking some time, but meanwhile we have created a SQL server, and I would say we have to create a connection as well. But the connection has to be created in our um, Data Fusion Data Fusion Studio. So so we still need to wait for this instance. Once this one is ready, then we will be able to do next steps, right? So I will pause for a little while. We'll be back with you soon, right? Thank you. Stay with me. So team, actually this is Data Fusion instance ETL DF1 took about 12 minutes, right? So yeah, it is back now. It is we can go into it, and then we can start building our uh, we can start building our ETL data workflow, right? So let us log into it and then see. Let me continue, give it access, right? So this one is the screen that comes up on our Data Fusion. So we will go to Wrangler, right? And we will build one pipeline. So from we are selecting data from this bucket CSV, and when we select this data, we are going to format this data. When we read the data, we need to tell it how to read the data, what is the way of reading the text file, right? We are confirming this one, and then the data is coming in, and after data coming in, we will be parsing the data to correct format. So here we have parse function here available, parse as CSV, and then CSV usually have a comma which is already by default, and we need to tell it that first row has a header, right? I mean the titles, right, of the, we apply this one and we see the data is good. Once the data is good, then whatever we want to do, we will create a pipeline. So data is good, that means that like we are not doing any transformation. Okay, if we have to do some transformation, we can do it here, right? These are transformation steps, right? We are passing it, and then we can have another step here if we want to do the. So in ETL we are reading data reading is already done, and the sources are CSV. So whatever you are seeing on the screen, the table that you see, this is data extract. We are extracted this data, we brought it in, and then transformation side, you see the transformations, only one transformation, which is we are passing this body as true. We can do something that we can delete this body. We're not loading this one to the target table. So if we are going to delete the column, we are deleting the column. So this is now second step of the transformation. So transformation is completed now. What we will do, we will create a pipeline now, and the pipeline is going to be batch type pipeline, not real time. Real time is usually streaming, right? So here is the everything is done here up to here, and then we are looking for a sink. So sink, we have created a database which is SQL Server database. So we are using this sink. So let us try to build this one. So what we will do, we will link this one as it is, right? And then we will go for the properties. So now we need to, we know that we have these left side, you say input schema, that is the one we are going to, use for use for transformation, and whatever we want to do. And then SQL Server connection, here we need to use the connection string, right? Whatever connection. So let us build the connection, add connection. If there is something available for MySQL, let us see if we have available. Nothing available, right? So no. So what we will do is in the hub we will bring that driver name, SQL Server driver into our Cloud Data Fusion hub, right? So in the hub, we will search for SQL Server, okay, SQL Server, right? So this is the one. We have direction here how we download. So we will download. I already have download. I will deploy that one. So I will upload the driver. I have this one in the download folder. I had downloaded that one before when I was doing some other work, right? So here it guides us to use this one, right? JRE8, right? So we are uploading JRE8 next. I am giving the name same as it is, leaving the name as it is. I don't need to change, and there is no requirement for changing anything. I'm finishing it. So driver has been uploaded in the so no, cancel it. So it's uploaded into the hub. Hub has the driver now. So what we were doing last time, we are going to select a JDBC driver name. We have that one already now. So we are putting this in. So we will create the SQL ETL SQL connection, right? Whatever name you want to give it, connection, right? So then this is the driver we are using. Then localhost. So instead of localhost, I will prefer to give it the name of the. Let us go to SQL Server and name of the. No, sorry, IP address of the SQL instance that we are having on cloud. So we had allowed everything for the connections. So we have allowed, see, this is public IP address. So we will go for public IP address. We have allowed every IP, full IP. So there's no problem. It will be tested correct, right? So the user ID is SQL Server user ID. And I'm giving the password here, like, SQL Server user ID is specifically, it is, provisioned by when we are using GCP Cloud for creation. Let us test the connection. Connection failed due to database via string this one, and arguments user SQL Server. SQL Server, no suitable driver found for MySQL. JDBC MySQL. Why it is MySQL? It is we are creating something with the SQL Server 9. So it is not MySQL. It is SQL Server. So why it is taking as a MySQL? No, it is not MySQL. It should be SQL Server 9 JRE. If that was created wrong, then I will go ahead and check it, delete it, create it one more time. So let us go to Hub. See if there is drivers available, right? I will no, that was not that was created as a SQL Server. Why is taking as a MySQL? That is something that I am surprised about, right? So let us go and check back again. So name is, description is like that, and then this is our then this is SQL Server and advanced connection key. Okay, so so let us go and find out why it is. We are selecting SQL Server 9 and create. Oh well, this is not MySQL, so this is going to be creating. Well, I will leave it there like that, but I'm going to create a connection of SQL Server. So this is SQL Server connection. I'm now creating a SQL Server connection. So yeah, that is the one we're supposed to do. So ETL SQL SERVER, right? So because maybe I had clicked at wrong option, so I'm using the driver what we have created, right? Local, I'm putting the IP address there, and then SQL login. We have given everything already, test it, it should be successful. See, it's connected, right? So we are creating this connection now, ETL SQL Server. This connection has been created. Okay, so let us we are adding this connection. Okay, well, that is fine. Okay, so where is our screen? Okay, so browse the connection. What connection we are using? This one is using, right? So we have set up this one, right? So database name, we do not have database, but we can create the database, and then we have to create the table also. So let us go ahead and create a table. I would have to pause because then I have to use a SQL Server Management Studio for creating the table. So for the table, we are using this string, and it is requiring us to create. So test database. Let me say test. It is a browse database is not there. Then okay, we will create the database. So browse database select data. We don't have this database available yet. So we can create the database for sure. From here, we can say, like overview, and then we can, this is instance name. So we can create the database, create a backup, create a database. Where is the create databases are there? Create a database. We can create the database as a test database. So test database is going to be created now. From here, and is there anything available? I'm not sure if there is anything available in Google Cloud, but we can create it. So if we connect to this one, is there any? No, there is nothing available as an editor or as an SQL query console, right? So I'm not sure, but let me come back with the another screen where I will install SSMS. Let us see if we have SSMS available on this server. Nothing, not really. Let me see if we have installed somehow. No, we don't have. But what we can do is I can download SSMS, right? So I would say download SSMS, and we will install this one, SQL Server Management Studio, and let us download SSMS, and whatever the release number is available. I don't want to waste any time on searching. Let us install it. Soon it downloads. It will take some time, but let us at least start the installer. Once that is done, our task remaining is to create the structure where the data will land into. So we will create that accordingly, right? And then table will the table will hold the data from that is coming from the transformation, right? Let me pause a little bit, and I will be back once I download it. And the download is almost done. So let us start. See, download is downloading. It is downloading here, right? So it won't take much time, but I will let you go off. I will pause the video a little bit, but before let it complete. Before that, and it will turn to executable here, right? So once this is done, then it is still loading. It's still downloading, right? See over there. You look at the downloads, right? It is SSMS setup ENU 12 seconds left, right? Let me start this one, and once we start this one, then after it will take some time, and then I will show you how we will do that about creating a database structure, right? Basically, DBAs can do multiple ways, right? But I will be giving you some, overview of how we do it using any. Well, actually, if there is a SQL Server installed, we don't have a SQL Server here because this is only on the cloud. So, so we need this client, right? So this client is the SQL Server Management Studio, and this is a very useful, you can create something like that. something like a table or whatever data object are required on the target side, right? So like give me a second, I will be back soon, and then I will show you how to do it, right? Stay with me. Thank you. Okay, friends. So SQL Server Management Studio SSMS has been installed already. So let us create the structure for the table. I will close this one. I will close this tab as well, and then definitely, right, I don't need this one as well. So yeah, okay. So uh, let me start it and connect to the database, and then I will show you what I will do personally, right? When as a DB, how do I do these things, right? So SQL Server Management Studio is coming up, and we will connect to the instance on the cloud. You might remember that I have already allowed all the public access to our server. Now, how do we do that? Very simple thing is that we will go to the SQL instance, and there is a connections tab, and you will get that IP. First of all, copy this IP, then we will put that IP into the SSMS, right? So we are going there, okay? And then I will use SQL Server authentication with the SQLSERVER, right? Because this ID is created by Google Cloud. It's not coming by default from Microsoft. So they have created this one and made this ID as administrator, right? Remember password, you don't need it. You're not coming every day, right? So it's okay. So here is we created one test database. Remember, there were by default there are system 4 databases. They are always there, right? But what you are going to do is here or in this database now test database, you will be using a query, or there is another way to do. You will be using query, new query. So creating the table as create table demo, right? Whatever you want to. Then you will start this one, and then you will give the columns. We will see the column live. So how we go for the data? Go remove this one. We have make string. I would say like not more than varchar, all of them varchar, right? They are strings, right? So we will take all of them, or I think there should be mapping available, but let us create it. Is there any way that we can do it quickly? Oh yeah, there is a way. So what I will do is I will pick up those columns names from rather than typing myself, open the file with notepad, right? Take the top column, right? And then we will we will go with the names, make, and all of them I will make the same size. At this time this doesn't matter, right? So make is varchar 50, right? Whatever, I mean 50, it doesn't matter, right? That's okay. And then all of the others are same way. Same way. So what I will do, I will copy this one and up to here, right? Okay. So then so I will insert this one in every column, here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here, everywhere. So okay, well, if you straighten it up, it will look beautiful, right? But it will not make any difference, right? It will never make any difference in any in the actual structure, right? So this is why I have my habit using the comma in the beginning. There is some advantage over using the comma at the end. Many people do that way, right? But there is some advantage. But you see, we are good, and then we will create this table. Okay, this create table is done already, so we can go inside and check if the table is good, and you can see the structure. If you want to see the tables, this is a table demo, right? And you can, if you want to see if somebody else created it, you want to see, you will go script as create to new query, right? So you will see it here, right? Because it's not a big deal. See, this is what I did, right? Okay, so table is good, and we don't need this anymore. And I think this will allow us to bring the data in. I will close this connection, don't need it, right? So I don't need this one as well. So we have everything available. So what we can do is connection is good, everything is good, right? So I think validate. If we have two errors found, what are the two errors? Number one is the reference name. We'll need to give the reference name. So reference name is ETL server ETL database DB test table, whatever you can type, demo, that doesn't matter. I don't know where we will be using this stuff, right? So this is one, and the other thing is table name. Table name is demo, right? So we need to do this demo table, right? So validate, and then once it's done, no errors found. Okay, so this is good. And do I have anything save here? Okay, or not? Nothing, So validate is good, and we are going to close this one. I hope we can close this one. So if this is good, then can I try to preview mode and run it, right? So in preview mode, we are running it in a preview mode. We are not deploying it, right? So I think if this works, we are picking up the data from the file GC Google Cloud Storage file. GCS, this first one, green one you are seeing here, GCS, and then Wrangler. Wrangler is the actually, I would say it is a kind of ETL engine kind of thing, ETL transformation, everything, right? So preview data and let it run. Once it completes, then we will see. Then we can do the run on deployment or all those things. But our task is up to here. Data is coming in, and we are doing some modifications in the data. And then completed successfully. So it completed successfully. The data has. So let us see how much data has gone there. Actually, there is no other way to test other than I would say, rather than preview, we can deploy it. After we deploy it, then we can, well, I'm not going to deploy it because that as long as the run is good, there are 400 or something rows that we will check it through. Again, let me start one more time that I closed SSMS. We can check the data that has come into the cloud table there, right? So we are going in one more time, see if table has received the data. If data has been received, then at least preview run is good. You don't have to. On the tables, we can go and check how many rows are there. Okay, right click, and then we say select 1000 rows. Yeah, that is the statement. Oh, the data is not there. So preview is good, and then do we have to run it in real time and then data will come? Okay, let us try. So it's data has not come in, and now we will do the actual run. Okay, so preview run. When run was good, we had it done it already, right? So now when we remove it, then we say deploy. Okay, let us deploy. So pipeline name is to be given here, ETL pipeline 1. Okay, and save it. Once we save it, give me time to deploy it. Deploying the pipeline, and we'll see where the data goes. If data is not going in, what is happening? We will try to troubleshoot it, and then we will run it, configure schedule, and then we are going to run it, right? After deploying, we are running it, and let us see if the data is going in or not. So yeah, it won't take much time. It's in the provisioning state now. So what happens is I think it is doing all those things before actual transferring data to the actual table, testing everything, but it's not entering any data without deployment, right? So let us see. I will pause it and wait for completion, because provisioning, and then it is going to starting, then it's going to running, right? There are a couple of stages that is going through, right? So yes, you can keep waiting if you want to, or fast forward if you want to.